In this lesson, we're going to go through and configure MSTP. Our switches are set up in the same architecture they have been previously. I have two Nexus 5548s that are configured running a trunk port on port E1/25. Let's take a look at the switches. I'm on the first Nexus switch in global configuration mode. If I configure show spanning tree, it's going to show me that this bridge is the root and that I'm running rapid spanning tree. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Show spanning tree. I can see this bridge is not the root and I am running rapid spanning tree. So let's go back to our first switch. If I want to change my spanning tree configuration or mode, I type in spanning tree mode and then the mode that I want to run. In this case is MST. So now I've configured this to run in spanning tree mode MST. If I run a show spanning tree, you can see that now the spanning tree protocol that it is enabled is MSTP. Let's go do the same thing to the other side. You can see the change that I made caused an inconsistency in spanning tree. I need to switch to the global configuration mode, and then I can type spanning tree mode MST. Now, if you recall, in our spanning tree lesson, you can configure several configuration parameters for MST. So if I type in spanning tree MST configuration, press enter, I now go into the global MST configuration. Inside the global configuration, I can configure different MST instances. The instances are where I map VLANs to a spanning tree instance. I can also set the name and revision number. And remember, all of my VLANs have to be mapped to an instance, which by default they are mapped to instance 0. If I do a show spanning tree MST configuration, I can see that I have a single instance and all my VLANs are mapped to that single instance. If I want to change that, I can type instance, give it a number, which there's already a 0, so I have to pick 1 through 4094, instance 1, VLAN, and then type a VLAN range. If I want to do 2000 through 4094 and make 2 instances for all my VLANs, I can do that. I want to do the same thing on the other side. Configure the instance, give it a number, VLAN, then a range, 2000 through 4094, and press enter. So now if I do a show spanning tree MST configuration, I should see, so that's an interesting point. Because I didn't exit out of my MST configuration, the change didn't take place. Now that I exited out, I can rerun my command show spanning tree MST configuration, and I'll see that I have 2 instances. Each one has half of my VLANs. If I do a show spanning tree, I will see that 5548.1 is the root. If I want to change which device is the root for which instance, I would type in spanning tree MST, pick an instance, either 0 or 1, and then I can apply the same commands I could with rapid spanning tree. I can give it a priority, or I can say that this switch should be the root. Make it either the primary or the secondary. So in this case, when I go to a show spanning tree, I see right now that I have MST instance 0 running. The reason I don't have MST instance 1 showing up right now is because if I do a show VLAN, I don't have any VLANs in the range of instance 1, which is 2000 through 4000. So if I go ahead and create that VLAN 2001, and then exit out and I do my show spanning tree, now you will see that for MST instance 0, this bridge is not the root, but for MST instance 1, it is in fact the root. Same thing goes on switch A. For MST instance 0, it is the root, just like we configured, but for MST instance 1, it is not. Please join me for our next lesson, configuring our PVST+.